Hello, hello. Uh, Walaikum assalam. Arif, I will make you presenter and the host so you can quickly upload the files and then we can start with it. Uh, okay. Uh, Assalamu alaikum to everyone. And actually, it was just because we were trying to load the files and the slides are too big, so that's why it was taking time. And Arif was helping me to upload them, so that's why I couldn't talk as well because I was not the host and the presenter. Okay. Actually, these slides, the slide size is around 4 MB, something like 4 MB. And because my internet was not very good, so I did not download and change these slides. I took one class I think a couple of months back in Malaysia. So this mobile number on the slide is my Malaysian number, but you don't need to save it because I'm not using it anymore since I'm not in Malaysia now. So even you note this number would make no sense. So that's why just don't save this number with you now. And okay, I got a few invitations on Facebook, and those people who added them back. So this is the best way to contact me. You can leave me a message on Facebook, and I'll always reply you back. And another thing is, before I start that, I got a couple of emails from some students. I was very busy this week with a few things, some problems, some family problems, so that's why I couldn't reply back the email. So I would just like to apologize for that one. So today we can discuss whatever the problems are you are asking in email, so you can ask here and I'll try to answer them. Okay, so last week I asked students if anybody wants to know about data analysis and SPSS because this software will help you a lot. I don't know how many of you have already installed SPSS in your computers or you did not install it. I don't know about it. But can I ask how many people do have SPSS on their computers? Anybody else except whether anybody else is having SPSS or not? Okay. How many of you know what is Microsoft Excel? Okay. Let's start it like this. Okay, now this is something very basic. If you are doing a research, your research will make no sense until and unless you don't have data. Maybe by interviews or maybe by questionnaires, but you must have data to do your research. Once you have data, data will have no use until and unless you do not analyze it. I mean, if you do not analyze the data, those numbers or those things will make no sense for anybody. So once you have the data, you have to analyze it. And analysis is always done based on some calculations. So you do some calculations on the data and then you get the results. Now, since um, these calculations for research are based on statistics, and a lot of people in the world are not statistics masters. So they cannot really learn the formula or the logic or different type of things behind everything. So that's why we have different type of computer softwares. And in that software, the benefit is you put your data and you try to analyze it and you will get the result. So you don't need to remember the formula or anything. There are different type of softwares to do these type of things. Some are very basic, some are medium range, some are very advanced. One of the very basic ones is Microsoft Excel. It's actually not very basic, but we people use it a bit basic. Even Excel has some very, very complex things to do, but Excel is somewhat basic on the range of analysis. And then in the medium range, we have one software called SPSS, which actually does a lot of things, but if you are in master's level, you just need to do some basic analysis using SPSS. Um, there are different type of analysis. I will be discussing them later on in the class today. So if you want to stay in the class, it would be beneficial for you because you can learn a few of the analysis and how to interpret those analysis. So I think I made myself clear now. This is one software by name of SPSS. Um, well, I am working on the whiteboard, so that's why you can't see the slides because I did not go on the slides there. Because the slides are all about SPSS, if I jump directly on the slides, maybe you cannot understand because you don't know what is slide, what is SPSS. So that's why I'm just giving you a little bit basic information. So SPSS actually is an abbreviation which stands for Statistical Package for Social Sciences. Now, if you are doing this business management or MBA, this is also part of social sciences. So different type of researchers who are working in social sciences, they use this software called SPSS, right? Um, Okay. Now, actually, SPSS is not a free software, unfortunately, but there are free copies available. I'm not sure if I have a copy of SPSS or not, but I will make sure that I email all of you a copy of the software maybe by tomorrow, inshallah. So once you get the setup file, you can put it on your systems and you can install it. So once you install it, then you can start using it. If it's not very, I mean, if you learn it, then it's very, very easy. It's just, it would just take a very little time and you can finish your analysis, right? So I'll try to send a copy of this software, so you can just install on your computers and then you know how it's working out. So, um, okay. And if I don't know how many of these you students are in Malaysia at the moment or other places, but if you try asking some of your friends who are already doing research, then you might get a copy of this SPSS software. Like one of the students in the class, like Veda, she has this software on her computer. So if some people who are close to her or you are friends with each other, then you can also send to each other so you can try to solve your problem. Now, okay. So SPSS is the software. It's actually made by a company by name of IBM. I think everybody knows this company, which is very, very old for computer hardware and software. So this all about the software. Now, okay, one more thing. I'm not sure in Afghanistan can you access YouTube or not. Okay. So because in a lot of countries people cannot access YouTube. Now if you can access YouTube, then you don't need notes or you don't need anything else. YouTube is full of how you can use the SPSS. And basically I personally, to be very frank to you, I have learned all the analysis from YouTube. Whatever softwares I know, different softwares and all the softwares I know I have learned from YouTube. Nobody have taught me about these softwares. So I've learned SPSS, I've learned MOS, I've learned Smart PLS, all these softwares from YouTube. Because the best thing about YouTube is that they have uploaded different videos and they actually perform all the steps in front of you. So what you can do is you can watch the video one time, which is 3 to 4 minutes video. You can watch it one time and then you open your SPSS and you try to follow the steps what they are doing. So if you try to follow it, you will know how you can do it. Now see, there are actually 2 points or 2 parts of all this. First part is called analysis. Right, so there are actually 2 parts of all this. One is called analysis, the other one is called interpretation. Now, analysis you can learn from YouTube, very easy. Analysis just means that, okay, you have data in SPSS. If you want to do, let's say, correlation, this is one type of analysis. Let's say if you want to know how to do correlation analysis. So it will just tell you, okay, you have to click here, you have to click there, you have to click there, and that's how you can do correlation analysis. Now, this part you can learn from YouTube. Analysis, you can easily learn those basic types of analysis from YouTube. Now, the problem is when you get the answers, how are you going to interpret it? Like, when you get the answers, what does this answer mean? This is the main thing which actually you need to learn, and we will be discussing these things today in the class, that what actually is the base of these analysis, right? So it's very simple. It's just like this, okay? For example, if now at the moment, what's the temperature in Kabul? Can anybody tell me what's the temperature in Kabul at the moment? Okay, so we got an answer from Nasrat, and the answer is that the temperature at this time in Kabul is 0. Now this 0 actually, uh, let's say, let's make it like this. This Kabul temperature at the moment is 0. Let's make it as an example. Now, how do we know this temperature? Because people have different type of machines and different type of things in the weather department, and they actually capture the temperature of the city. And after doing this analysis, they give you the figure that the temperature at this time is 0. Now, basically, the actual thing starts after you know that the temperature is 0. Or let's say -2, -3, whatever. Whenever you get this number, now let's say if you are telling me that the temperature in Kabul is -3, now suddenly I realize that it must be very, very cold in Kabul. Why do I realize this? Is because I know That 0 is the basic point. If it goes below 0, it means it would be freezing. It would be very, very cold. And if it's above 0 and if it's above 25 or 30, then it starts getting hotter. So this is actually called interpretation, where you get the results, and looking at the results, then you match it with some standard and you give your interpretation about that result. This is just a basic example of this thing. So that's how you have to do this interpretation of your results, right? This is just a basic example. If anybody who is not clear about this example, you can ask me now. So if you are clear, then we can go to the slides. Okay, let's give you another example. Okay, now let's say if we have a class, and for that class we have these standards. If your result, if you have marks from 0 to 60%, it means fail. If your marks are 61 to 70%, it means you have got C grade, 71 to 80 is B grade, 81 to 90 is A grade, and above 90% is A plus, right? This is called standard. Like before you go for the exam, the teacher will show you that this is the standard, this is how we will be marking you, right? Now, let's say this is student exam paper, right? This is a paper, and the teacher comes and the teacher checks different type of things. After checking all these things, the teacher provides you the marks, and the teacher says that your marks are 77%, right? Now remember very carefully, okay? All this checking here, all this part of checking, whatever the teacher was checking, this is some sort of analysis, right? Analysis means the teacher analyzes your exam, and after the analysis, the teacher comes up with one mark, which is 77%, right? Now what you will do is very simple. You will match this 77% with this standard, right? When you match it, you realize that the student falls here and the student gets a B grade. This is called interpretation. Interpretation simply means that whatever your results are, you match those results with some standards. There are some standards which are already set. When you match them with the standards, then you realize that what exactly your result is, whether it's a fail, it's a A, it's a B, it's a C, it's a A plus, whatever. Now see, what's important in this part is, if for example there were no standards in the start, there were no standards, and then the student gets 77% marks, then the student will have no idea whether he is a A, he is a B, he is a C, he is a D, he is a fail, whatever, right? So that's why whenever you do analysis, when you get the results after the analysis, you have to match them with some standards and then interpret them. This is called interpretation. So if you are not clear now with this example, so tell me. Okay, I suppose everybody is clear with it. And now let's move to the slides. So you can actually use these slides as well if you want to do SPSS, but I would suggest you look for YouTube. YouTube is much, much better. Okay. Um, as I told you, these slides I have made for one of the class I was taking in UTM earlier. So I will be skipping a few slides because those slides, because the class I took was for 8 hours. So the class I took was for 8 hours, and there were a lot of things in this like some extra stuff. I'll be missing this out. Okay, so what I will be teaching you is today, first of all, I'll tell you something about the layout and the interface of SPSS. So when you install it and when you open it, then you don't feel scared. You are already aware of what you will see instead of the software. What are some of the important menus of the SPSS? We will discuss it, but very short. How to open and create data sets, analyzing using descriptive statistics, and then some statistical technique. But I'll try to go quickly so in the class we can finish this. Okay. Now, once you open the SPSS, right? Whenever you open the SPSS, after you install it and once you open it, so this is how the window will look like. This one. This one. This is how the window will look like. And if you look at here, these two lines, here in one place it says data view, in another place it says variable view, right? Now I think everybody in the class already knows what is a variable because we discussed it earlier. Okay. In SPSS, when you open it, now we have different type of things. Let me get one of the questionnaire and then tell you what do I mean by that. Okay, can everybody see this one part of the questionnaire? Shakir, I would love to give you practical examples. The problem is I cannot open SPSS on this program. I mean, if you were sitting in a real class, I would definitely show you practically how to do it. But this is the problem actually. So that's why I'm trying to explain it much more basic level so you can understand what's happening. Right. So okay, now Let me discuss this with you. This is gender, male, female, age, education, and nationality. In this part, gender is one variable, age is another variable, education is another variable, nationality is another variable. So basically in these questions we have four variables, right? The first variable is gender. Now variable is something in which the values can be different, like it can hold different values. So the first variable is gender, but remember that this gender only can hold two values, male and female. So when you give out questionnaire to some people to fill it out, either they will be male, either they will be female, right? There cannot be any third thing. Similarly for age, there are 5 values, 16 to 20, 21 to 30, 31 to 40, 41 to 50, and above 50, right? So this is something very basic. Now why I am telling you this is because when in the start you open SPSS, you have two things. One is called data view, one is called variable view. Now the name shows it very clearly. First, what you have to do is that you have to go to variable view, and there you have to define all your variables in your questionnaire. So in your questionnaire, if there are 40 questions, it means you have 40 variables. If in your questionnaire there are 30 questions, it means you have 30 variables. So you have to define each and every variable in SPSS, right? After you defined it, then you have to click on this data view, and then you have to input whatever the data is, right? So here I am just trying to show you how the data view looks like. So this part is actually the data view. So if you look at here in the bottom, this data view is clicked, it's already in yellow color, and then here this is all data view, like this 3, 3, 4, 3, all the values. This is different type of data, right? This is the first basic. So when you open SPSS, this is how it will be. But I told you before data view, you have to look for variable view. This one is the variable view. Now, if you look at this two, both of them are variable view, both of them. But first one is empty. Like when you just open it, it will look like this, right? But when you start defining your variables, then it will become like this. After you defined all your variables, then it will become like this. So here, if you can see here, here are different variables. This A1, A2, A3, A4, different type of variables. And then if you look here in the end, they have this age, gender, designation, education. So these are all those variables included in the questionnaire. So first of all, what you have to do is you have to define all the variables. Now you must have this question in your mind that how do we define the variables? Basically, I will tell you here, but if you don't understand, just go to YouTube and write it just like this: defining variables in SPSS. If you just write defining variable in SPSS, it's very simple. You get a video for 1 minute, you open that video, you look at it, and you will understand how to do it. Okay? So this is very, very simple, not very difficult. I just wish I could do it personally here so I could teach you, but since it's not possible, so I am trying to make it easier for you. Okay, another thing is that when you open the SPSS window, right, as soon as you open it and you do something in SPSS, then there will be automatically another window open with SPSS. You will see it whenever you open SPSS, there will be automatically another window open with SPSS, and that window is called output window. So here, if you look at this one, here it shows output document, right? Now, why we have this output document? Because when you do analysis, like for example, as I mentioned earlier, if you want to do correlation analysis, now when you do correlation analysis, the results will always come in this output document, right? Now, just to tell you one thing, some from this window you can copy and paste. Like after you do correlation analysis, the results will come in this window in the form of tables, different type of tables. So what you can do is you can copy and paste those tables from this window to your Word document and your thesis on or an dissertation or whatever. You can do this copy paste, but I would suggest you that after you do it, after you finish your work on SPSS, save this output file. It's very simple. You go to file and save it wherever you are saving your work, because sometimes your examiners or your reviewers will want to see your analysis results. So that's why just save it until you finish your work. Save it for your own benefit in the end. Okay, basically we have different type of menus on the top of SPSS. So yes, here if you look here you can see different type of here file, edit, view, data, transform, analyze, graph, utilities, add-on windows. There are so many, right? But basically you will not need all of them. All you have to do is you will basically need most of the time data menu, transform menu, analyze menu, and graph menu. Even in these four, most of the time, the most important one is this one, the analyze menu, because in analyze menu you have all the options for analysis. So this is the most important menu you will be looking at. Okay, so just for your easiness, this is I have try to make it step by step. So after you install SPSS in your computer, you can go to programs. That will be SPSS incorporation. Then you just go here and click on SPSS 16 or 18 or 20, whatever version you have. You just click on that, and then you will, as soon as you open, as I mentioned, the default window will have the data editor, which is having the data view and variable view. As I mentioned earlier, as soon as you open, this is how you will look at it, right? So you will have data view and variable view. Okay, now okay, so now this is how your after you click on variable view here, this is how the variable view will look like, right? So now remember this one, these numbers, right? This 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. All these numbers are showing each variable. So 1 means variable number 1, 2 means variable number 2, 3 means variable number 3, 4 means variable number 4. So this is how, if your questionnaire has 40 questions, so you will fill it up to 40. If your questionnaire has 15 questions, then you will fill it up to 15. So this, each number shows one variable in your questionnaire. I try to make it a bit animated. You have to click here and then okay. Now the first one is name. Name, usually try to put some name which is very close to your question, right? So usually if you have those These type of questions, gender, age, education, nationality, you can name them just like this. You can put here in this place, you can put in the name, you can put name, gender, age, whatever. So this name should be somewhere close to your question, so you can understand which question of the questionnaire is it. Okay. Now remember, these are few things which are important for me. The first character of the variable must be alphabetic. You cannot start it with 0, 1, 2, 3 or whatever, some question mark or is equal to or what. It should always be an alphabet. Variable name must be unique and have to be less than 64 characters. So variable name should be unique. So if you have named one variable like age one time, you cannot put another age. Shakir, I didn't understand your question. Just let me explain it. I'll give you a time and then you can ask me questions. So I can, basically I'll open your mic so you can ask me and I'll answer you later on. So just let me finish this basics first. Okay, so name should be unique. So if you have named one variable as age, you cannot put age again. Right? So make sure that names are unique. Also, names should have no spaces. So, for example, there's one question. Let's say if your question is if this is your question, number of children, you cannot put it like this because there are two spaces here, numbers of children. So there are two ways to deal with it. One is numbers underscore or underscore. If you do like this, it can also work out. It will be okay, right? If you put underscore instead of space. Another way is you just short it to something which you can understand. Just make it children, right? So make it something which you can understand. So this is another thing for the variable name, right? So this is important. Type. Basically, there are a lot of types of variable. If you look at here, now what I'm trying to tell you is these things. Like first variable, if for example this is age, right? So name, type, width, decimal, label, values missing. So I'm just trying to tell you what each of these means. So for one variable, when you are defining it, how are you going to define each variable, right? So for name, I already told you. Now, as soon as you put the name, you will see these all of the other things. Most of them will fill by itself automatically, right? So there's not a lot you can do. You have to do actually. So types of variable, there are a lot of types, right? There are a lot of types for variables, but mostly you will follow. You just have to remember these two. Numeric and string, right? Very simple. Numeric is something like number. For example, age, always number. Number of children, number. Income, it's a number. So anything which is related to numbers or figures, that variable type would be numeric. Anything else which is like data, for example, if you ask someone country, city, name, right, or gender, these type of things in which there is some words or alphabets, then that type of variable would call string, right? So, for example, if here you name it age, then the type would become numeric. If here the name is country, then the type would become string. So anything which is related to numbers will be numeric, anything else would be string. Very simple. Width and decimal, it's automatically filled. So you don't need to worry about it, and it makes no difference for you. So you don't need to change anything here in bits and decimal, right? The next thing is label. Now remember, label is something which actually is shown in your output, right? So sometimes what people do is when it's about name, they name it something very strange, like A_1, A_2, A_3, something like this. Label, I would suggest you to put all your question as it is in the label. Yes? Okay. Now let's say I have one variable in my model. There is one variable by name of physical environment, right? Now, in order to collect data for physical environment, actually what I've done is I have used 5 questions, right? If you look at in the table, the resolved lighting is appropriate, temperature is comfortable, environment clean, architecture is impressive, the colors are complement. So these are 5 questions used for measuring the physical environment. So in actual, what happens is that to measure this one physical environment, I have 5 variables, right? Because there are 5 questions, and of course, somebody who is filling my questionnaire, he will have to answer all these 5 questions. So I have to define 5 variables in order to assess physical environment. So now in this case, if if let's say if I have to make these 5 variables, so what will I do is here where I have the name. So what I will do is, in order to make myself very easy, in this first place I will write PE1. I'm sorry that the font is too big, so I can't manage it in the exact boxes. But just trying to tell you, in the name I will put PE1. Now PE1 actually shows physical environment 1, which means that question number 1 for physical environment, PE2, PE3, PE4, PE5. This is how I name it. Now why I name it like this is just to avoid confusion. But then after this, what I will do is this actual question, the result lighting is appropriate. I will take this question and put it here in the label, right? So when I have the result, I know that this result is for which question and this result is for which question. It's easier for me to know how these results are for which question. Is everybody clear about what I am saying till now? Okay, great. So till here, it's pretty much easy. Very, very easy, no problem at all. And now we go to value. Now there is something very technical in this. Why we use value? Um, let's say most of you people or almost all of you would usually go to different type of restaurants to eat, right? So when you go to a restaurant to eat, there's always a waiter who will come to you and the waiter will ask you what do you want to eat. This is a very common practice. Now let's say there is one. dish called Kabuli pulao, right? Which of course I like a lot because it's very delicious. And there is another dish called mandu. I'm sorry if I'm spelling it wrong, but I guess this is how it is actually. Do you have this dish called dampo? You have this dampo in Afghanistan. Okay, good. So, okay, now what happens is that when, let's say, you go to a restaurant and different type of things. Now the waiter comes and the waiter asks you that what do you want to eat, right? Now let's say you order these three things. You ask me, I want to eat kabuli pulao, I want to eat mantu, I want to eat tampo. Now usually if you see in the restaurant, the waiters have one paper and a pen, right? Usually when they come to ask you what do you want to eat, they have a paper and a pen, and whatever you order, they write it on that paper and pen. How many of the people till now you have seen that whatever you tell them, they write it exactly like this? Because usually when I look at it, let's say if I tell them that I want to eat kabuli pulao, so on the paper, the waiter actually writes something like 2-1 in front of mantu, he will write like 3-4 in front of them, he will write like 4-2, something like this. Have you ever noticed something like this? Okay. Um, okay, just let me tell you why I am saying this. Usually what happens is that the paper are very small. The paper on which this waiter is writing all the things is very small. Secondly, when the waiter, he goes inside the kitchen and he gives that paper to the chef or to the cook who is cooking actually, it's very difficult for him to manage big pieces of paper. So there are those small pieces of paper they put there and they see what people need. Now actually what this 21, 34 or 42 or whatever this means is inside their kitchen they have a list, and actually that list has all those type of foods which they cook, and in front of each food they have a specific code for their food, a specific code number for their food. So when you order that food, the waiter already knows which code number is it. So the waiter only write the code number instead of the full food name, just to avoid the space and make it quick. And when he takes this paper inside to the cook or to the chef who is cooking, that cook or chef already knows that what does this number mean. So if you order Kabuli pulao, let's say its code is 21, the waiter will write 21 on the paper, and when he goes inside, the cook also knows that 21 is Kabuli pulao, so he will make Kabuli pulao for you. You understand what I'm saying? So basically, this is the basic theme of what actually we do in SPSS. Now, this is all to avoid a lot of confusion and make the things quicker and easier. Right? Now, see, usually in terms of research, what do we do? Um, how many of you have seen questions like this where they say that 1 means only this, and 2 means this, and 3 means neutral, 4 means agree, 5 means only agree. Now, this is one very good example of what works. Now, usually in the questionnaire, if you have 40 questions, you do not write strongly agree, disagree, neutral, agree, strongly agree, all these 5 words 40 times. You don't do it. What you do is in the start, one time you mention that 1 means strongly disagree, 2 means disagree, 3 means neutral, 4 means this, and 5 means this. And then throughout your questionnaire, you only use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the person who is filling the questionnaire, he also in the start knows that what does 1 mean, what does 2 mean, what does 3 mean, what does 4 mean, and what does 5 mean. And that's how he marks it. So if you strongly agree, he will mark 5. If you strongly disagree, he will mark 1. So this is how it works out, right? Now, when you ask people to fill questionnaire, those people will fill it like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They will fill it based on the number. Now, after you get the questionnaire back, SPSS does not know that what does 1 mean, what does 2 mean, what does 3 mean, what does 4 mean, or what does 5 mean. SPSS has no idea of what the number means. So what you have to do is you have to define the values of the number for each variable, right? Now, I just gave you an example of those 5 questions. These 5 questions, right? So in SPSS, what did we do is here PE1, PE2, PE3, PE4, and PE3. Here in the values section, in this place, in values, when you click on this value, inside there will be a window like this. So when you click on values, there will be a window open, and that window is like this. So you will have different type of, so you will understand what it means. Label, now in label, what you have to write is 1. And in value, what you have to write is strongly disagree. Now, this is exactly what we will do. 1 means strongly disagree. So in front of label, you will write 1. In front of value, you will write strongly disagree. And then here, in this part, in this place, there will be another button which will say add. So when you click add, it will be add for this variable that 1 means strongly disagree. This is how you have to do 5 times. 1 means strongly disagree, 2 means disagree, 3 means neutral, 4 means agree, and 5 means strongly agree. Once you did it one time, it's very easy. After you did it in this place here, you click here, you have to press Control C, which is copy, and then you select all these, and then you Control V paste. So all 5 values will copy paste for other variables. So you don't have to do it again and again. This is a shortcut, right? This is how you will assign the values. So if there are any questions up to now, you can ask. Okay, now one more thing. Because in questionnaire, most of the people will use these type of skills 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is easy. One time you do it, then you copy paste for others, and that's it. That's all. So for these type of questions, it's no problem at all. The actual thing which you actually need to understand is the demographic questions. No, there is no descriptive form. Nothing. You have to define the things and you have to input the data, then you will come with other things, right? So for that scale, Likert scale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that's easy, right? For these questions, this type of questions, this is also very simple. In these questions, uh, gender, age, I think you already know for this demographic question in the name, type, and label what you have to do, right? You just have to name them as they are. In values, what you need to do is very simple. Just consider male as 1, female as 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Very simple. Whatever your sequence of values is, just tell them as 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1. So 1 means male, 2 means female. So if in the questionnaire somebody has on male, so while inputting the data you put 1. But if somebody have take on female, so when you input the data you put female, 2. Is that clear? Okay, here it is. So for values, here it is, I have explained it very well. On values you have to click, and this is how it will open. Just now I was discussing with you uh, value and label, right? So you have to put the value and then you have to put label and here is add. So after you add, it will come here. So in the end, when you finish, then you just put OK. Okay, now see, this is something what Saket is asking, that there are some people who have asked questions like, when you ask age, you did not make groups, right? You just leave it open, so people can put anything inside. Is this what you are asking? Hello, Saket. Uh, are you asking something like this? That you have made a question like age and leave it open so people can put anything. Okay. In that case, since you don't have any categories, so you cannot label them. So you just leave it open, and when you are inputting data, so if somebody have put a 65, so in the data you have to put 65. If somebody have put here 42, you have to put 42 here. So whatever the data here is, then you have to put it just like this because you don't have any group or category, right? That's why when you are developing your questionnaire, you put the groups. So later on, it's easier for you to analyze the data. Understand? Good. So, okay, let's jump ahead. Okay, this is nominal and ordinal, but it will take a long time, so I will not waste my time here. It's not something important. Just leave it. Just skip it. Okay. And this is also not important. So this is something very important. Please try to listen to it very carefully. This is a bit logical and a bit important because this is the base of your work, whatever you will do in your thesis. So try to understand it, and if you don't understand it after I finish, then please ask me so I can explain it because this is very important. Now let's say if you have one model, in your thesis you have this model, and the model is that physical environment affects customer satisfaction, right? So in order to do this in SPSS, you need to find out that whether physical environment have any effect on customer satisfaction or not, right? So you must have value for physical environment and customer satisfaction. This is clear. You must have some values about physical environment and you also have some values about customer satisfaction. Is that clear? Okay. But the question is, do you just now I showed you a question. Let me go to that. Okay, this is the question. These are the questions for physical environment, right? PE1, PE2, PE3, PE4, and PE5. Now the values you are getting here are not for physical environment. The values you are getting here are for PE1, PE2, PE3, PE4, and PE5. These five are completely different questions. They are measuring physical environment, but in actual, you don't have any direct question for physical environment. Do you understand what I'm saying? If anybody who is not clear with this point, please ask now. Okay. I suppose everyone is clear with this. So the only thing I'm saying is that for this physical environment, I do not have any direct question. I have five questions, but those five questions are measuring PE1, PE2, PE3, PE4, and PE5. They are not measuring physical environment. They are measuring another thing. But we have our hypothesis or our model. This does not include PE1, PE2, PE. This includes physical environment. So we have to have value for physical environment, right? Now, basically what's happening here is these five, PE1, PE2, PE3, PE4, and PE5. They are basically measuring physical environment. So in actual, what will be doing? And then in order to get the value of physical environment, what we will do is we will take an average of PE1, PE2, PE3, PE4, and PE5. So once we get an average of this, we will get a result for physical environment. The example is the same. Now, let me give you another example to be very important, so everybody can understand what I'm saying. All of you are studying MBA, right? How many subjects you are studying? Okay. So in MBA you are studying 12 subjects, right? whatever the subjects are, for all these 5 subjects, for all these 5 subjects, 12 subjects, we have exams and assignments, right? Different exams and assignments for all the subjects. All these exams and assignments, basically, like for this RM, for research methods, I have given you 3 assignments and 1 thesis. Similarly, for other subjects like entrepreneurship or marketing or finance or other, you have exams and assignments. But in actual, you don't have any exam for MBA. Like, you don't have any course or something which says MBA, right? So, in the end, you don't want to tell anybody that you passed finance or you passed marketing. Then you have to tell everybody that you passed MBA. So in order to get your marks for MBA, what we do is we take an average of all these 12 subjects, and whatever is the average, based on that we match the average with the standards, and then we see what is your GPA and what is your grade. So this is how we work out, right? Exact the same way we have to do for these variables. So in order to have the physical environment, we will take average of those 5 or 6 or whatever questions we have asked in the questionnaire. Similarly, customer satisfaction, we are going to do the average for all of them. Now the problem is that again, SPSS is, just wait on, I need to put the charger of my laptop and then we can continue. Just one. Okay, so we have to take average now. Again and again, I'm telling you, SPSS is not a human being. SPSS is a software. So whatever you want to, you have to define it. Once you define it, then it will understand what does this mean, right? So in SPSS, uh, uh, CGPA is just like an average, okay? So you just need to understand the average, what average means, right? So, okay, now in software there is one thing which is called transform, right? Now transform actually meaning also shows it. In transform you can take the values from SPSS and transform a new variable. So how you do it is, now when you open SPSS, in the top in the menu near file and edit, there is one menu called transform. When you click on transform, the first option would be compute variable. You click on that. When you click on compute variable, this is how the window will look like when it opens. Right? So here is the window. If you look here, it says target variable. So in target variable, you have to name the variable which you want. In my case, what I did was I write here physical environment. So that's what I needed. Here, this is what I need, physical environment. So I put here physical environment. Now here there is a sign of is equal to. So whatever you want this physical environment to be, you have to put the expression here, right? And just like Excel, there are different types of formulas there. In order to do the average, what you need to do is you need to click here. All means all the formula, and then here in this part. You just need to press M from your keyboard. So when you press M, the formulas which are starting with M will start, and there will be the first or second formula by name of mean. Mean is exactly what is average, right? So when you click on mean, you will see here in this place it will say mean, right? After it say mean, in this part there are all the variables. In this part, all the variables you have defined. So in my case here I can see PE1, PE2, PE3, PE4 and PE5. So what I will do is I will click all those five and put them here in this part. So I know that it will, I already mentioned physical environment here. Physical environment is average of PE1 to PE5, and after doing it I will do OK, right? This is how you will do this new variable out of the existing variable. So if anybody who is not clear with this can ask now. Okay, so I suppose everybody understand this one. Okay, now how many of the, does anybody have to leave the class or not? Okay, what I'm thinking is that it's becoming a bit difficult, and also because now I will be starting the analysis. So what I can do is that now you have the software, the software file, this SPSS software file setup file. Vida, do you have the software setup file? Okay, I don't know, I think Vida can't hear me, so no problem. Okay, what I can do is that after the class I will email everybody the software SPSS file, right? What I want you to do is install the SPSS file and try to do whatever I have told you today. I just don't want to start the further analysis because I just want to make sure people understand till now. Because if you understand till now, then the further is very easy. If you don't understand till now, then it's very, very difficult to pick up the further analysis. And since the time is getting over, so I don't want to start and leave it in middle, right? And the first part we have already finished, like the basics of SPSS and how you have to start up with the things. And as far as I know, only Vida was aware of what is SPSS and how to deal with it. The other students were totally unaware of what it is all about, right? So I just hope that everybody can install it before the next class and try to little bit practice. So you are just a bit aware of what is this SPSS all about, right? Um, what I will do is that after this class, I will send you these slides to everybody, and plus I will also send you the format for your thesis. The last session video of what? I don't have any video. There is no video. I'm sorry because I don't know. Right, so what I am going to do is that I'll send you the SPSS setup file, and the slides plus the thesis format. So the thesis format, you will be aware of what we want you to have in your thesis, right? Now in the next class, we will, let me tell you now, because next class would be, I guess, today is our 8th class or 9th class. I think today is our 8th class. If I'm not wrong. Hold on, let me check which class. Yeah. Today is our 8th class, right? So today is our 8th class, and then what we will do is, inshallah, that in the 9th class and in the 10th class, because we have only 10 classes, right? In the next class, I will tell you something about this analysis, so you know how to do it. But I just hope everybody can install it so we can go, because I just want it for your own benefit. I have no problem if you don't want to learn. It's very, very beneficial for you in the future, right? So next class we'll do the analysis and also discuss something about your proposals or whatever you have asked any question about your research or things, so we can discuss about it. For your, yes, you have to select the topic for your thesis, Nadia, because you have to do your proposal before 28, if I'm not wrong. I told you 28, so uh, that's why you have to know the topic of your thesis. Yes, if you want to discuss your thesis topic after the class, now after the class finishes, you can discuss. I will let the other people go. If somebody wants to discuss the topic with me, you can discuss for 10-15 minutes. After the class, you can start working on it. Yes, I was just telling you that I'll send you the SPSS file and all that slide thesis format. So all these things, right? And last two classes, next two classes, inshallah, we will do analysis and discuss your research all about. For your thesis, because our last class, the 10th class, after the 10th class, not from now, after the 10th class, you will have around 2 months to do your thesis. So in 2 months, which is around 9 weeks, you will have around 9 weeks to complete your thesis. For your thesis, we want I don't know what does 3G, 4G. Well, see, you can, yes, if you want to take 3G, 4G, yes, definitely you can take, but you should be aware that it should be a business management related area. It should not be technology related because I have no idea about technology, right? Yes, if let's say if you want to do 4G, yes, you can do something like factors which force people to use 4G technology, right? So then your research will go customers and looking at why customers like to use 4G technology. So there will be different factors which will be related to marketing or management or those type of things. So yes, you can do it. But you cannot do something like how 3G network works or how 4G networks work, because that would be a technology related topic and it's not related to engineering. Okay? Okay, so I think we should stop here with this class. And okay, Riaz, actually, if you want to contact me, you can contact me on Facebook. I can answer you anytime. You can even get my email and you can send me an email. I'll inshallah make sure to answer everybody on time. For my phone number, because I am in China right now, and if you call, it would be very, very expensive for you. So, it's not really good to call me in China. You can always add me on Facebook and you can talk to me on Facebook. There's no problem. Okay, great. Okay, now if anybody have any question for the class, you can ask. Otherwise, you can leave, and then I'll stay here for 10 to 15 minutes. And inshallah, after I will leave for only 15 minutes. If anybody wants to discuss about your project topic or something, you can stay and you can talk.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Good evening, sir. Do you interval my class fellow, sir?
Yes, Nasser.
Uh, Sir, I have a question regarding our proposal and final thesis, sir. These are two separate things, right, sir? Because the thesis, as you mentioned, we will start from last class,
After the last.
and we will have 2 months to finalize our thesis. So we should send our thesis topic before 10th class, or
Okay.
like what should we
Now,
do, sir?
let me tell you, okay, so everybody can understand. Usually, when you do proposal, right?
Yes.
Proposal simply means that an initial idea or a starting idea of what you will do. This is what proposal means, right? So when you do proposal, your proposal topic should be similar to what you want to do in your thesis. Now see, you will submit your proposal on 28th, right? Right? You will submit your proposal on 28th, and then approximately around after 3 or 4 or 5 days after that, we will have our last class. So it's only a difference of 4 or 5 days, right? I don't see like there would be some student who would make proposal on one topic and then after 5 or 6 days start working on another topic for thesis. This is just I am giving you an idea of what I think. So that's why
The proposal we have discussed, sir, like we have also discussed last class. So it should be our final assignment in this subject, right? And we should continue to build our proposal and to transform it in our thesis. Is this your meaning, sir?
exactly. See, Nasrat, can I ask you, where do you work? Are you working in some job or anything?
Yes, sir.
Where are you working?
In Afghanistan Independent Administration Commission, sir.
So
Civil Service Commission, sir.
Okay, good. So in your organization, have you ever developed a proposal
For what, sir?
for any funding or anything? Have you ever developed a proposal for any project or anything?
Sir, I am working in many fields, sir. Monitoring and evaluation, sir.
No,
We have separate department for developing proposals, strategies, sir, planning.
Okay, exactly.
These we have.
No problem. Nasrat, now see, where when you are working in an organization and you develop a proposal, and that proposal, what you do is, you can actually give an initial idea of what can be a project, what can be done, what are the resources you need to do it, how much money is needed, how will you do it, these type of things are.
Yes, I know that, sir.
Right? And then if the proposal is accepted, then you do those things, and by the end of finishing the whole project, you write a report. This is what happens, right?
Yes, sir.
This is exactly what you are also supposed to do. Now, see, it's very, very simple. You do your proposal, right? After you finish your proposal, you send it to me. This would be your final assignment, right? I would mark it and that's it. Now,
so it should be like a draft to you, sir.
I have already given those finance requirements, right?
No, we have received that, sir. We have received the requirements. You have sent it last week, sir.
Yes. So yes, this is what I'm telling you. You have developed your proposal and send it to me, right? After you send your proposal to me, I will mark it and I will put the marks in your mark sheet. That's it. It's done. Now we start for thesis, right? Now in your thesis, it depends on you whether you want to work on the same topic or you want to work on a different topic. It completely depends on you, right? What my concern is that if you already studied or if you already downloaded different type of papers and spent some time on one topic to develop a proposal, so it's good for you to work on the same topic and develop your thesis from the same topic. This is my thinking.
Okay, sir.
You understand? So this
Yes,
is
sir.
exactly how it works out. Now,
So it will be, yes, it will be easy for us. First, we develop our proposal. Then, after finalizing our proposal, we should talk on that point of time, sir, regarding our thesis.
This is exactly what I'm telling you. So it will be easier, right? So that's it.
And one thing else, sir, regarding, I hope my class fellows don't mind, sir, because I had some problem in this third semester. I couldn't log in few of your classes, sir. Yes, sir. And SPSS, this software, sir. You said that we should first identify the variable, sir, and then we should enter the data, sir. So why should we calculate the average, sir? So this software should, like for example, if we have 10 questionnaires, we have to separately enter these 10 questionnaires in this data in this software, and this software should automatically sum it, and after that the graph and everything average. So this software does like that. Yes, sir.
Okay, let me tell you.
Because if we do it everything manually, so what's the benefit of the software? Then we should do it in Excel file, sir.
Let me tell you. Actually, what you are mixing two things. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. See, this is a software. It can do everything for you, right? Now, the point is that actually in the start you have to define something, right? Now, if for example you want average of all the questions, right? If you want an average of all the questions, yes, software will do it. Because in the start you define the variables and then you put the data, software and do it for you just with one click. Understand?
Okay.
Now what I was telling you is that there is no question for physical environment. Right? Now actually you are not doing calculation. You are actually defining it. And what you are defining is that for physical environment we need average of these 5 variables. So you are only defining which variable should be included to give the average value. Do you understand? Hello? Hello? Okay, I think I can hear you, Ashraf, but I hope you can understand. Okay, if anybody else have any questions? Okay, Najib, yes, Najib.
Okay, sir. Good evening, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you for giving me the chance. I have just a short question about the proposal and also for the final thesis. Like in the proposal, so as you mentioned before, that it would be better that the students can choose a topic in the proposal and then they can shift it to their final thesis. In this case, that when we have enough information, maybe we'll search for different sources for this topic. And about the thesis, shall we focus in our thesis based on our specialization that we have in the MBA, like those that they have strategic management, or those that they want to specialize in the finance or marketing or IT, they need to focus on their specialization, or there isn't any.
Okay, I understand your question, and actually it's a very good question. You see, if you are specializing in something in MBA, right? Let's say if you are specializing in strategic management or entrepreneurship or marketing or whatever, Now basically, when you say you are specializing in that field, then you should know a lot about that field. Is that right? If you are saying that you are specialized in one area, then you must have a lot of knowledge of that area, right? Now see, I would suggest you, yes, if you are specializing in any area, it's better for you to select a topic within that area for your proposal and then continue working on the same topic for your thesis. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's okay. It means that there isn't any restrictions. The people that because we have, I think, 3 to 4 areas of specialization, or that the students can concentrate or focus on them, like strategic management or strategy management, finance, marketing, and information technology. So it will be better to focus on the main area that the students want to specialize in the future. Other than there isn't any.
Sorry, there are two reasons why I'm saying this. One thing, when you go out and you tell someone that you are specialized in one field, they actually expect you that your research is in that field, because specialization means this. In MBA or BBA, when you specialize in one field, actually you are studying more of subjects related to that field. Is that right?
Yeah, but right now, if I'm not wrong, with the WWS programs, the people that they want to specialize, for example, in strategy management or finance and marketing, they study the same subject along these 3 semesters. So I think there will be any specific courses or for this specialty. So my question was about that if we focus on our own specialty or specialization or concentration in our thesis, in the proposal and thesis, would be fine. Other than if we don't find relevant information or enough information, then we may choose other topic.
Well, see, Najib, since you told me this, I don't know about it, that what subject you are studying, or if there are specialization if people are studying same subject or not. But what you told me after listening to this, I would like a brother, I would suggest you to select a topic from your specialization. See why I'm saying this. Let's say if I am a recruiter, right, and then you send me your CV for a job, and I want a person who has specialized in strategic management. Now, in your interview, if I ask you what extra did you study from your classmates, so there are no extra subjects you are studying. Everybody is studying the same subject. Am I right?
Sure, yeah. Yes, I got a point. Yeah.
Exactly. So in that case, to prove that yes, you are specialized in that area, you should show your research thesis that my thesis is in this area. This is why I am specialized in this. So I would strongly recommend everyone, whatever is your specialization, go for a topic in that specialization. Otherwise, your specialization will make no special meaning.
Sure. But as the last date for the proposal will be the 28th. As you said, the third time inspector, so we need to put our proposal in this format, and it will be individual assignment, not be or it will be a group assignment. This is the third assignment.
No. It's not a group assignment, because see, everybody will do their own thesis, right? You are not going to do the thesis in a group, so your proposal is also separate. Because maybe if you want to do on one, right? So this is completely individual assignment, right? For betterment of everybody, so everybody can learn something out of it.
Yeah, and after the 28th of this month, so we will have 2 months to compile our thesis.
Yes, 2
And,
months.
and you will give us the format.
I will send you the thesis format. It's not very difficult. Actually, the maximum pages you will do is 70 pages maximum, right? Which means that maximum you have to do 70 pages. Now I don't expect anybody, right? So I actually do not expect anybody to send me a 20 pages thesis. First, people might think that 70 is maximum, or something with 20. So actually your thesis should be between 50 to 70 pages, right? Now this 50 to 70 pages include from your table of starting till the end. Now if I tell you that when you look at the format, there are title pages, there are table of contents, there is abstract, there is acknowledgement, there are references, there are appendices. If you join all of them together, even this makes your 12 to 15 pages, right?
Yes.
So 12 to 15, if you, let's say if anybody wants to do 70 pages and exclude 15, so you are only left with 55 pages. And 55 pages is not a lot. I mean, you know, it makes around 10 to 12,000 words, including all the 5 or 6 chapters. So actually, thesis for you won't be very long. But what I want is to learn something out of it. So you, when after MBA you go for your job or somewhere, you know that there is some difference. There is something you learn.
Yeah, sure. So the total length of the thesis will be 70 pages.
Yes, the maximum is 70. It's around 50 to 70.
So we are looking forward to the
Inshallah,
format.
after the class, I will send you these class slides and the thesis format and also the SPSS setup file. Okay?
Thank you so much.
No problem at all. If anybody else have any questions, please come to see. Okay. No, Javed Kayumi, we have only one thesis. We don't have 2 theses, so we have to do 1 thesis. Nasrat, again, I would suggest you go for your requirements. I have mentioned everything in the requirements, what you need to do about your proposal. So please refer to the requirements. I don't know. See, I told you, whatever is your specialization, make your topic from there. Whatever is your specialization. If you are finance, go for finance. If you are marketing, don't go out of your specialization, because all your subjects are similar. And then if you are even out of your specialization, it makes no sense for your specialization. So go for your specialization. Okay. Yes. Riyaz, I would like to talk to you because you had some problems, so I will unmute you. Hello?
Hello, can you listen to me, sir?
Yes, I can hear you, Riyaz.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Sir, actually, the last class I was absent because I have no internet connection. That's why I'm first I checked the video, but the last session of the video is not uploaded in the video YouTube channel. We are we have all of the videos, the class which we have taken. So my first question is that if you can support us, because I was absent, so I didn't get the clear idea how I can prepare my proposal and how I can select the topic. That's why I need help from you.
Okay, let me tell you one thing. In the last class, there was nothing special. Just refer to the slides, because you must have received the slides, right? Because I sent the slides to everybody.
Okay.
So you just refer to the slides and it will be fine. So you just refer to them. There is nothing special, right?
Okay.
Secondly, for how you have to select your topic. Now, since you are doing MBA, right? MBA means Master of Business Administration. So your topic should be related to business administration, management, marketing, finance. Your topic should not be related to engineering. Now, you told me that because you are an engineer, so you must know how to select the topic, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, see, I tell you one. There are some people who are doctors, right? Now, doctors have studied medical, but I also know some doctors who are doing MBA. Right? So
yes, sir.
Yes. Doing MBA, what do is they do something like this. Okay, let me tell you. The topic is something like this. So can you see this topic?
Let me minimize the window then. I can see only physical environment and customer satisfaction.
It will load. just 1 minute. Can you see the effect of hospital service quality?
No, I didn't see. Yeah, now I see.
Right? So I know doctors who, when they are doing MBA, they start some topic like this: the effect of hospital service quality on patient satisfaction. Now what happens is the topic is related to business administration, marketing, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the sample and the data collection is from hospitals, which is related to doctors, right? So that's how they mix those two, so they are not completely out of the medicine and they are not out of MBA. So you can also do something like this. You are an engineer in what? In telecom.
Actually, I studied electrical engineering, electronics. Then also some parts of communication is studied. So after that, when I started my job, so I joined communication engineering. So I have sector experience in telecom engineering.
But
So
still you did your MBA, right? You studied
yeah, I want to do the MBA because in the future it will be good for me.
yeah. So that's why if you want to make it a bit good for you in the future, you better do something which is a bit new, so you learn something, right? If you
Okay.
still want to stick to engineering, it's okay. But the problem is you will learn nothing, right? So then there is no point you are doing MBA because you learn nothing. So
Okay.
let's say if you want to do something which still includes this, so let's say, how about this topic? I suggest you some topic.
Okay.
Can you see?
It's not clear. Let me minimize it. Still it's not appearing on the screen.
It's okay. Just wait one moment.
Okay, I will wait.
Can you see now?
Yes.
Right? So this is some topic which is also related to business management, but it's also having a lot of things from your engineering side. So you might look at some factors which makes people use 4G technology. It can be anything like, let's say, speed, let's say ease of use, let's say new technology, any factor which affects people to use this 4G technology. So you can do something on this.
Okay. Okay, sir. Okay. I will do this, but how I can prepare like the in the questionnaire? What kind of question I can put in the questionnaire? Can you listen me, sir? Hello.
Okay, any more questions? I can't hear the ask, so
Hello.
well, Veda, in the start I didn't know actually I am responsible because I thought I only have to do this RM course, but like one of my friends who was RM teacher last semester, he told me that I have to do it. So to consult or correct your thesis, that's why I'm sitting here and asking you again and again if anybody has any questions, discuss with me, because it cannot be like that real thing, because you cannot access me real, right? It's on the internet. So all I can do is I can sit here and discuss with you your topic. But yes, if you want some comments on your work, you can send me your work before and after it's done. Not like after the deadline, but during the deadline, you can send me a little bit of your work and I can comment on it for you, so you can know whether you are going in the right direction or not. Okay, any other questions? If no questions, then we can leave. But I would suggest you, if you have any questions, just ask now so we are clear about it. Veda, do you have this SPSS software setup file? Okay, is it possible for, okay, do you have the email list of all the class members? Okay, Veda, what I will do is that because my internet has some problem and since these files are a bit heavy, so usually I'm not able to attach them. And secondly, in China, a lot of websites are blocked, so that's why I have some problems. So since I've already sent you these those files like the thesis format and the PowerPoint slides, so if it's possible, I will send you an email list as well, so you can email all the class those two files I send you today, and also the SPSS setup file, so everybody can have it, and for next class they can install it. Is that okay? Thank you very much. Okay, so I guess there is no more questions, and I hope everybody understands what we discussed today. And inshallah, before next class, please make sure that everybody install this software, and then we can work on further. Still, a few of your friends, they added me on Facebook, so maybe if you are friends with each other, you can suggest me to your friends so they can also add me, because I don't know how should I give you my address of people. I can try it, but since my internet is not working, because in China, Facebook does not work, so I have to use software, and because of that software, I cannot, if I use that software, then I cannot talk with you people. So that's why, just those people who already added me, you can suggest me to your friends. So if anybody have any questions, you can ask me those questions on Facebook. So I think that's enough. Have a good night, everybody, and take care of yourself, and hope to see everybody in good health. Assalamu alaikum.